Here's the thing about Bitcoin right now that literally nobody is talking about. Before I even start, this is coming from someone who, for one, sold Bitcoin right here at these areas, right, around 118K crypto. And also recently, the person who called XMR top right here and sold, exited at about $795. It is now 30% down, which, by the way, just very quickly, one of the main reasons was because if you take the measured move from the bottom all the way to the top, right, and then you duplicate it here, right, because this is where it broke out from, right here, right, and you duplicate it, you'll see that this is our actual resistance. This is where you sell, right? But it doesn't always have to do that. A lot of times, actually, it just goes in the halfway mark, which is right here, 50% of the measured move. This is a measured move from here, and then 50% is right here. And so $736, it kind of shot over it, right? $795, but the point is, when I saw rejection, get the heck out, right? Anyways, moving on. Bitcoin. So everybody's watching the weekly chart. Not everybody, but everyone who is bearish on Bitcoin like me. They're watching the weekly chart right here. And they are waiting for Bitcoin to do this. You know, last year on 2021, this is 2021, we came down on the weekly, right? We bounced off the 100 MA, which is that red. And we did a little rally here, rejected off the green, 50-week MA, and then dumped down. Whereas this whole time, we never broke the green, right? Except for when we did here, then now we crashed down. Anyways, right? And we had a little bear flag, right? So, you know, top, bottom, like it's like a clear line drawn there, and then we broke it, right? So everybody's waiting for the same thing to happen here, right? So yeah, as you can see right here, you know, we've touched the green, keep going. Oh, we broke it. Now people are waiting for it to come back and retest 100K, right? Either we go above and then go higher, or we break it and then go lower, right? But here's the thing, Bitcoin doesn't necessarily have to do that, right? Because of this, if you open up that actual MA and you change it to a exponential moving average rather than a smooth moving average like this, oh, what do we have here? It looks like we've already tapped it. Right? So, you know, we've already tapped that, and it's still the same moving average that, kept us up. Every time that's a dip, kept us up. This time we broke under it, and now we've tapped it. So technically, especially if we close this week as a bearish engulfing, which is like, you know, this candle engulfs this one, that's a very bad sign. The other thing also, if you go into daily and you draw out the bear flag, right, which is, you know, a bull flag is like this, like you go and then right, you draw out the line here, and then it breaks out, tests, and then goes higher, right? And then your measured move is basically, you know, whatever amount it did here, right? You would want that here also. And then you have the 50% mark in case it rejects there, right? That's how that works, okay? Bear flag is opposite. Bear flag is boom, right? And then blah, 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 blah. And it looks like, oh my God, we're in an uptrend. No, we're not, buddy, right? And then boom, and then boom, whatever, okay? So that's what we're having right now. Just like here, 2021, we came down and then flat, you know, higher highs, higher lows, but we broke down. So here's the thing about that, okay? If you take that flag, this is the thing that's happening right now, is that we've broken this support and now we've came down here. Now we're gonna actually have a lower low. The thing is, if we lose the support, literally this white line, if we lose that, that's where we dump. But this could also be a good opportunity to buy in, you know, if we're gonna go higher and then even higher. But the thing is, like, we would have to watch this to see if we lose or not. Like, why would I buy here? I would rather just wait and see if we break it. It looks to me like we're about to break it, to be completely honest with you, right? Like, look at this, like just look at how much bear action is going on. Just down, consolidates, and then just down. There's like no type of hope here, you know. Same with what's going on right now. This is even worse. It's just straight down. If we're talking long term, right, this is technically what you would want to do. And right now I'm just kind of being moderate, right? If you take from here all the way to down here, and you know, this is basically your flag pull, right? And then we had, you know, this action, which is actually, let me just literally show you exactly what I'm talking about. Right, and then we had this action of the pull, and then the flag, right? So your measured move as to like where it would go next is kind of something like this, okay? And then you have the halfway mark also. So if we put that here, just here, we could also put it here. We could put it up here also. There's different places where people put it, but I'm gonna go here because I think that's what's correct thing is. And then we do the 50% mark. That would be around right here, okay? This is the full measured move, and this is the 50. So this would be the full measured move meaning that if it does all of this and then it goes blah 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 and then it does the same thing, it comes down here 64-ish K. If it's only halfway, then it comes down here, right? And then bounces and maybe it goes lower and then whatever, who cares? We'll see what it does at, you know, when it goes to those things. But the point is, that's the areas that we have now, and then that's where one would look to you know, buy and be like, maybe we have another again flag and then we go lower, or maybe that's where we retrace. Who freaking cares? The point is, I'm just gonna trade the market as the market gives me. But look, let's see if that's what happened here actually. So let's say around right here to right here, and then you bring it down, boom, right there, right? From boom to boom, as you can see, you know, I'm off by a little bit, obviously. Like if I go into weekly and I clear out all this noise, it'll probably be a lot better, right? If it's actually dead low, which is like right here, and I bring that down to, no, that's about right. Honestly, that should be about right. Let me not cap. And then, you know, it actually broke from here, right? So still, you know, that's still around that area. It looks like it just kind of swept here, but it didn't even close there actually. If you look, there's wicks down there, but it didn't close. It actually closed, you know, all of these support areas was actually basically where I just drew that at, which is right here. Oh shoot, why is this crooked? That's like spot on, I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I guarantee you this is probably the 50% mark. Let's see. Right here. Let's move this over. Right? Let's make it like blue. You can kind of see it. I guarantee this is probably the 50% mark where it tried. All right, let's see. Let's go from the top of it to the bottom of it. Wow, what do you have there? 50% mark is where it tried, and then it lost it and went down. And it's the same thing. Oh, what did it have? It had a bear flag. Boom, boom. Had a bear flag, right? Came down, another flag, right? And then you just come down the exact same amount as from here to here, and then you do the same thing there, which is basically fit, you know, like, which is that 100% move. Like, it's the same stuff. That's what's happening here, you know. Like, hate me if you want, the reality is this. Actually probably even lower than that, yeah. So reality is something like this, and boom, 74K, you know. And it just so happens that that's like also right here as well, you know. I'm barely there. It's also right there where that all-time high was. You get what I mean? It's like, so that's what I'm seeing here with Bitcoin. If you don't understand something, let me know also. There's a lot of other technical ways and reasons. There's so many confluences as to why we're in a bear market. It's not even funny. Trade the market. Don't trade what you want the market to do. And with that being said, comment, like, and subscribe.